Good morning, all, and welcome for our intraday trading session. Okay, so today we are definitely going to be looking at, possible entries, the market's going to produce. Now, at this point in time, what we're looking at, we can see that we've got the Euro US Open, and kind of give you guys an idea here. I've got a support and resistance level that I've set at the bottom here. Okay, obviously there was kind of a slight signal in terms of divergence on the 5 and 50, well, on the 5 minutes. Check it out. Boom. There's the divergence. Okay. This happened before the session started, so there's no way I could have taken that or anything like that. Then again, when you start looking at these things, you can see that it's been a much heavier downside trend. Check out it's pushing down here. Okay. And have a look here. Okay, it's looking like it's going to break that level, but that's the big thing I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the 15-minute 3-moving average system. It's bearish. Okay. I'm waiting for the sell signal to get in. The break of that is probably going to be the confirmation of that. So technically it comes down to trading a support and resistance level break in essence. Okay. I've just set that line there to kind of give me an idea of where that trade needed to go if I did take the divergence setup on the 5-minute. Okay. Doesn't look like it went through that way at all. Looks like it is going to stop us out if we got into that trade. Therefore, and like I said, I've been noticing the markets has been, behaving quite differently these past couple of months. So I'm definitely looking at trying something new in terms of my intraday performance. Okay. End of the day is still going good. Love the way that's going. No complaints whatsoever. Yeah, just need to kind of get to a point where we can get that intraday running brilliantly again. So it's just finding a proper technique now in accordance with the new way the market's moving. Okay. And that's it. You're going to notice these market cycles, they come and they go, they change from here to there. It's very rare that you're going to have one system that lasts you a lifetime. Okay, you might need to tweak slightly here or there, for a slightly different approach in movement. But we'll only know that once we've gotten to the point of actually testing a system, deriving the data we need in order to assess whether the system is performing worse than its previous months. And once we can pick that up and compare it to our worst case scenario, we then know, whether it's actually a change in market condition and whether it's just some a fluke movement within the markets. Okay. So at this point in time, there's nothing yet that we can take, but we are waiting for a specific signal to come up. It's the 3 MA entry, okay, that we're waiting for. Okay. Now, I just want to show you the strength of this support level. Check here. Boom, 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 boom. Gets close. Boom, boom. One or two things. Either bounces or breaks. Okay. Looks like, you see, this is a 4-hour even. Okay. Check out, it's been moving just in this band. So we could see this coming down. It could bounce from here and go up. We don't know yet. Okay. Signs are showing that it's just likely gonna, dip slightly and come up. We're gonna have to wait and see. And there's nothing really much that we can, look at this point in time. There's no other signals on the 15 there. 5-minute again. Nothing there. So yeah, I'm just waiting. Just waiting to see what's gonna pop up. Okay. Now remember, guys, if there's any questions that come up, okay, by all means, just give a shout. You know, um, pop it into the chat feature, that kind of thing. Otherwise, for those of you who are on the uh, Hangouts feature, you can just pop a question in by switching your mic on and going about it that way. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what's gonna come up. Okay. So yeah, let's just keep an eye on this and see what it does. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna flip it over to a 5 minute. To kind of get a shorter term view on what this could be doing. There we go. Looks like today's going to be a day of waiting. Okay, seeing as the different types of movements and restrictions we've actually got. Restrictions meaning we've got the support and resistance level. And from there, just waiting for that proper signal. But yeah, just gonna have to wait. So I mean, anything can happen. So we're probably gonna get the bounce. Looks like it's Most likely going to happen. Don't know yet. That's why we need to wait and see. Anything can happen. Just need to keep an eye on it. That's all. A lot of up and down movement at this point. A lot of unsurety. See, the big thing is that a lot of signals are pointing for this to go down, short-term wise, and then long-term wise, a lot of signals are pointing for this to go up. So I think that there's a real struggle between the buyers and the sellers at this point in time, the bulls and the bears, to kind of see which direction is going to prevail, you know. Um, and that's why most people at this point in time on the Euro US, I can tell you now, they're waiting. They're waiting. They want to see that the support resistance level is either going to give out and then they're going to jump in for the shorts, or the bulls and the bears compared to the longer time frames are going to push this further up and have it fly upwards. Yeah. For end of day purposes, I'm hoping it's going to go up. Okay, but that's end of day, and that really doesn't matter. I mean, it can still come down for a week and then go up. It's not going to, be a problem for me, purely of the way the stops on those trades are situated. So the only thing there is that short term wise, we need to find out what this is going to do so we can get an idea on how we're going to make money off of this. So, like I said, at this point in time, nothing yet. We're just waiting and seeing what could be popping up. From there, we'll see what happens. So let's just keep an eye on it. And from there, we'll take our actions as needed. Okay, we can see the 5 minutes wanting to come down. is that support level going to hold? That's the question. It's been holding for quite a while. If we look at the 1 hour, you can see it. If we check the 4 hour, even check there. Oh, I mean, look at that. Boom. It's resistance. Resistance turns into support. 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 I mean, it's insane how strong this level is at this point. Okay, so this is the thing. It's either going to go higher or it's going to go lower. Only thing is, if you look at the 4 hour, you can see that this is definitely going to turn and go up at one or other point. Um, Same thing on the 1 hour. Okay, 30 minutes also wants to go up. Okay, so long term was up until short term, mid term, it looks good. Daily has already gone halfway down. So definitely looks like most of the strength is in that upward surge. Okay. 5 minute wise again. Like I said, we're only going to know once we see if it actually, gives a solid break or not. From there, we're kind of playing the guessing game. So now we're waiting. What happens, happens. And from there, we'll see how we're going to go about it. And see, it's pushing for the level. Don't know if it's going to break it. I'm just waiting to see if it's going to do that. I have a better idea in a couple of minutes. Let's just see what happens. Okay, good to see you back, William. Right, we can see now that this level has been tested quite a couple of times. Like I said, there's a strong fight between the bulls and the bears at this point. Short term wise, it kind of wants to go down. If we look at the 15 again, let's just check and see what that's doing now. Okay, 15 is bouncing up. We got, let's see, okay. So we got the confirmation, if I'm right. Yeah, we got the confirmation of the cross. Let's quickly just get our entry in for, that's, whoops. Okay, so we're going to get an entry in for the 15 MA strat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's over here. We're looking at basically, let's call it 140 as the distance. So let me just quickly do my calculations. Then we're going to jump in and see what this is going to deliver. Calculator, there we go. Okay, so we have got 1 and 2. We divide that by, now obviously remember we're trading with Quasi at this point in time because it's a South African or South African Rand account. We need to just divide this by the dollar exchange rate. So it's 14.75936, and then we divide it by a stop to entry. Okay, I've got my volume. My volume is going to be 0.47. Go for the sell. Just going to set my stop. Okay, I'm going to set my target. Let's pull this down. So if it was 140 times 3 should give us 420. So let's pull this down till we get 420. Here we go. That's it. Remember, it's a 1% risk, 3% target for the 3 MA system. And now we'll just see what it does. Okay. It looks like it's going up, but we got the confirmation, so that's why we're in. And yeah, it's just waiting now. That's all we can do. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on this and see what it does. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, we're just waiting now to see how this is going to go. Like I said, short-term wise, it wants to push down. Long-term wise, okay, 30-minute wise, we can see this wants to go up. 1 hour wise, it wants to go up. 4 hour wise, it wants to kind of at one or other point go up. Like I said, heavy support and resistance level. Check on the 4 hour. Resistance, support. So far, support. Good thing is the next target is actually on the next kind of support level for the little section over there. And let's just put the auto scroll off and go a little bit back and see how relevant it is. Yep, you see there again, boom. So it's the very next level, if it breaks, that it could bounce off of. So very nicely set actually in terms of overall flow of the charts. We can see that this is, at this point, there's definitely indecision between which direction this is going to want to go. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it, see how this wants to pan out. Obviously, if it's going to continue going up, then we're not really going to have much else coming up for the rest of the day. 3 MA wise, because obviously it needs to change direction or trend first, and then we need to get a signal. So it could take a little while before we really get anything out of it. We'll just need to wait and see what this is going to do. Okay, there's a small push on that candle, but check the effect it's got on that stochastic, eh? Big push up there. Ah, no, it went down again. You see, check how it changes it again. There's definitely uncertainty in terms of which direction this is going to go. Love seeing these things, out plays out and pans out. Good to see you on, Bevan. Hope you're doing good this morning. Got your email. I'll be going through it a little bit later today and see if I can spot anything else, and then I'll be getting back to you on that. Okay. Going to be interesting to see, exactly how that flows and so forth. And I'll try and see if there's anything specific that I spot, but I'll make sure to set up a team viewer session with you anyway, so that we can work through it together. Okay, like I said, the main thing for me is that you learn and see exactly how I spot these things, and kind of just give you an idea of, the different possibilities, in terms of finding solutions, okay, to certain issues that come up. The biggest thing is just trying to spot the problematic areas within your systems, okay? And when you can spot those, it's coming up with interesting little techniques to minimize those problematic areas, okay? I like how your risk to reward ratio, okay, it's a standard ratio, obviously, but I like how specifically with your hit rate, you've got it basically at a 50-50, which is quite nice. That's a nice hit rate. Now we just need to see if we can kind of set it up so that we minimize the losses and we can try and push for more profits, and hopefully it sets it to an even more profitable system. Okay, we might want to look a little bit further back even, okay, with some of the back testing, specifically because it's a 30-minute chart that you're looking at. But I like the fact that you've actually targeted the 30 as well, purely for the fact that it makes it kind of, I'm going to say, simpler in terms of trading your intraday as well. Gives you more than enough time to make a decision. You don't have to sit in front of that screen the entire time. So actually, very, very nice kind of time frame to focus on, so well done on that. Okay, good work so far. Okay. Like I said, yeah, at this point in time, we can see, we're just going to have to wait on this one. Maybe if we're lucky, we get a setup for the divergence to the bottoms. Okay, so what we might want to see 5-minute wise, and if that's going to happen, I'm definitely going to jump for it, but we're going to be wanting to look for something more or less like that. Okay, divergence to the tops like that. If we do get that, definitely going to be jumping in for that one. But it depends on how big this surge is going to be, for the upwards move now. Well, it looks like it's pushing it a lot harder now. But we'll know, all in good time. Yeah, with tonight's end of day session as well, there's going to be some interesting positions as well. I've also left quite a couple of stops. So we've got a lot of stops to ratchet this evening. And I'll show you some of those other ratcheting methods, will be applied specifically on those Kujin sends that, let's say we're in a sell position and the Kujin goes down, but then all of a sudden starts going up again and then goes back down. I want to show you tonight how we start ratcheting with those. Okay, we did touch on it last week, but now we'll actually see the example playing out tonight. Okay, so going to be a good one to check this evening. But yeah, the end of day one is running beautifully at this point in time. No complaint on that one. Okay. So far, it looks like that stochastic setup for divergence could be happening. It really just depends on how far this upwards push is going to last. How long it's going to last. I'm just going to have to see. Like I said, there's a big battle between the bulls and the bears at this point. I mean, just check. Market started trading. Not about it, and check out that you can clearly see the difference in times during the day. That was obviously the Asian session that started. Okay, so that's the session right after. Basically, you can see it's a consolidation, heavy consolidation, but that's purely because no one was in the markets basically at that time. It's only your, like I like to call them, your dopey traders, those guys that think they can trade and that kind of thing, that tend to mess around within these sections. You can't make money if the market's not moving. We need movement. Okay. And then we started getting the movement because the Asian session started fizzling out, and then the European session started opening, and check how the volumes start moving again, eh? So that's why I always tell everyone, that the key points you want to focus on when targeting the markets is making sure that you target the openings of the markets. It's very important for intraday trading, okay? Because it's going to be useless to try and open and close a trade on the same day when you don't have any movement. Okay, it's why trade that day. Okay, and this is why for intraday trading we tend to want to skip, bank holidays and those type of things for any of the instruments we're trading, purely for the fact that it's just going to create a more difficult position for ourselves in terms of making those profits. Okay, so remember, the biggest thing we're always looking for is movement within the chart, and that's very important for intraday. End of day really doesn't matter because we're getting in on a particular day, but we're only going to get out maybe a couple of weeks, even a couple of months later. Okay, sometimes those positions only last a couple of days as well. Depends on how strong those pullbacks or reversals are. But yeah, that's the name of the game, So we just got to wait out for that. And this we'll see kind of what starts happening. So far this is playing nicely into, almost like my prediction, but we're just waiting for confirmation that it's definitely going to be going that way. So we'll just keep an eye out again and see what's going to be playing. This could just be trading within a band as well for a little while today, and then later decide to take direction as well. We don't know until it happens. Okay, remember guys, the markets are unpredictable. So never just take a pure guess and try and trade. You're only going to get yourself into trouble. It's the first mistake that a lot of people tend to make when they get into trading. They think they see a direction that's going to evolve, but they forget about looking about all the other points and scenarios that could play out. And so what happens is you kind of develop almost like a biased opinion on the chart. That's the thing that kills a lot of traders. Okay. If you approach your charts with a biased type of opinion, you're going to have a very difficult time. Okay. And that's the thing. you need to be open for any possibility. That's going to make it a lot simpler. All that doubt is going to get removed once you've started putting a system together and started backtesting it as well. Okay, and you start kind of developing a very strong trust into your own system, and that's key because that means that no matter what happens when a signal comes up, you feel confident in taking it, and even if you lose, you're not worried because you know that you've got a ratio of winners compared to losers within your system, and as long as your money management is set correctly, you should be walking away with profits in the long run. Yeah. Right, so we're seeing that this is starting to want to turn. It's setting up beautifully, almost exactly as I've envisioned it. Okay, and we're just going to need to wait, obviously, for confirmation for that stochastic setup, and then we'll see. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, good stuff, Bevan. Not a problem. You'd be able to check the replay a bit later. The replay buttons and features has been fixed. Okay, so you could just use the normal registration links to view the replays again after we're done. I'll just send that out in the email as well. You guys would have seen I've made a note on that with this morning's invitation as well. But otherwise, yeah, then I'll definitely see you again this evening. Okay, Bevan. Shot for checking up and joining in. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna have to wait a little while on this one. Remember, I'm waiting for a close from above to below the 8 moving average right over there. Okay. Once we get that, I'm gonna be in for the stochastic setup. Let's see. I see the 15-minute is still looking like it's wanting to push up. 15-minute might actually be setting up for that divergence as well. Let's just wait and see. It's going to take a little while. You're going to pop it back to the 5 minute. Let's see what we've got there. Looks like it's starting to push down. 15 minute is wanting to make the turn again here. Okay, getting back to the 5. We're probably going to get confirmation very soon, so I'm going to be jumping in then. It'll be 2 trades that we're in now. Yeah, it's pushing there now. Got about a minute before it confirms, so we could be jumping in very shortly. Let me see. Just get a measurement ready. Is it going to confirm? Let's check. Let's check. Calm down, calm down. Just push, push. Yeah, we're probably going to get it in the next candle, Annie. Wait, what is it doing? Yes, okay, just. There we go. We're looking at 98. Okay, so let's check. Calculator. Just need to check exchange rate here again. It's 14.7325 divided by. There we go. Okay, got my volume. Right click, trading new order. Just setting my volume. Selling. There we go. That's done. Let's quickly get. I wonder. That's insane. insane, eh? You don't get a lot of brokers that give you that amount of minimum distance. 4 points. It's insane. Love that. Just wanted to check that now. Anyway, let's just get the target in quickly. Target is boom, right there. There we go. Okay, let's get the stop in. There we go. Brilliant. Now we wait. Ooh, wait. Wrong one moved. There we go. Let's just get this back into play. Come now. Why is it moving that? Okay, it's because both are basically at more or less the same entry. That's why. Okay, let's try and zoom in slightly more so that I can get a better placement of this. Now you see the two levels are right on top of one another. That's why I'm getting that issue. So let's go. There we go. We pull that up and it should be there. That looks better. There we go. That's it. Okay, what happens now happens. We just need to wait. We need to wait. It looks good in that sense. Let's see here. Okay. Let's just check what this does. Okay, still a bit slow movement at this point. Like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty. We're setting up for a short-term move here, okay? Long-term wise, it looks like it's never going to turn up very soon. Like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty within the ways in which the market's moving at this point. So we'll see what happens, you know. What happens, happens. That's the thing. Nothing else we can really do. Okay, so we're basically an hour into our session at this point in time. All right. 2 trades in, waiting for them to do their thing. Because there's a lot of unsurety. Anyway, we'll see. Like I always say, what happens, happens, you know? Okay. Okay, so William, you're asking me to just talk through the 3 MA trend indicator. Okay, construct of the indicator. Okay, pure and simple. This runs exactly according to the rules. Okay, for the 3 MA trend method. It's more or less there to guide you into deciding whether it is bullish, bearish, or consolidation. Okay. It will at some points look like it might not be accurate, but the whole point is it's working to even judge these things against, you know, a small point difference within the moving average line. So where it might look like it's flat at a particular point, it could actually be going up, when you look at it on a much, much smaller timescale. So main conditions are moving averages need to be in order, and they need to point in the same direction. Okay, this is why at the point over here, you see it that it's slightly consolidating. Why? Like I said, this looks like it's going flat. So it's still running. When we're looking at it from our point of view, it still looks perfectly fine. Okay, and this is why the indicator is there to basically help you gauge. If you get to a point where you're struggling and it's getting a bit difficult, you can clearly then gauge whether it is bullish, bearish, or so forth. Okay. But at points like that, you're going to need your own discretion. And you see it's normally at those little points where you might get a little blip going up, where it tends to change direction or those type of things, or goes into consolidation mode on the indicator. Okay. So the main rules, remember, it's the 3 moving averages need to move in order from price. Okay. They need to to check here as well. Remember how I say as well, when you get your candles moving on the wrong side of the 50 MA, okay, for more than 4 candles, it'll also go into the consolidation, okay, scenario. So it runs according to all those rules and so forth, and then starts setting up again. And as soon as everything gets back into play, it runs again according to the normal rules and so forth. So definitely something that helps in terms of spotting and finding out whether the chart is in fact trending and which direction, or whether it's consolidating. Okay. So it basically is set up with the exact same rules as the 3 MA system. So the conditions it's got in terms of gauging whether it's bullish, consolidation, or bearish is those rules. Okay, so the developers set it up specifically like that for us. Like I said, it was only to make it simpler for those of you who's actually starting with this indicator, that you'll find it a lot simpler to gauge the difference between bullish and bearish and so forth. Okay, so it runs with all the normal rules, and that's why you can. It's kind of like see it as just a quick filter for yourself. Okay, that's why I've got that and the 3 moving averages on there, so I can still use my own discretion on whether it is the right point or not. Okay, and that's the main thing. So it's think of it as an extra additional guide to just kind of read that 3 MA system. Nothing stops you from just using the 3 MA setup, but I just like using it as an additional confirmation to what the 3 MAs are showing me on the chart as well. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense, in terms of that. But it uses the exact same rules, the flow of those rules and everything as well, that you've received, that I emailed to you, I think yesterday or the day before, for the 3 MA use, how to set it up, how the rules flow, how to check that, once it retraces and it moves onto the wrong side of 50, how it still gets in play and how it then gets taken out of play and so forth. Okay. Right. So yeah, good question actually, but feel free to, keep on asking, if there's other things that pop up and that type of thing. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's put in time. The 5 minutes looking alright. 15 minute. What's that doing? It's wanting to come down here. Okay, we're in profits. That's nice. And we'll just see. Hopefully, this can push through slightly past that support, and we finally get that kind of break we're looking for. I think also personally that break is only going to be a shortened type of effect. We'll need to wait and see. That's all. Looks like it's wanting to bounce off that level again. We'll see. There's still like what, more than 3 minutes left on that one specifically. So let's see what it does. Big push up there. Okay. Oh, that level is strong, eh? Anyway, it's making lower highs at this point, which is good to see. So it's like it's trying to push below that level. We'll see how long that momentum lasts. Last thing about the 3MA setup is you can use it in almost any time frame. Like I said, I've checked it. It works quite nicely on 15 minutes. 5 minutes, it's a bit difficult because of the movement, the type of movement we get in the 5-minute charts. But it works brilliantly for the longer time frames as well. So you want to run it on something like a 1-hour chart, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 4 hours, that type of thing. By all means, you can play around with those as well. Okay. But I've found it to be very useful, purely for the fact that when a lot of clients tend to put together systems and those type of things, they find it very difficult to remain out of the consolidation periods. Okay, and that's the thing with standard type of indicators that you'll notice. Your standard indicator setup, okay, is normally either just bullish or bearish. That's it. There's no in between. It's either bullish or it's bearish. Okay, so you get a quick changeover of trends happening in that sense. So you notice that you tend to get a lot of false trend changes, and people get into that, and that's where they lose a lot of money. That's in those consolidation periods. So this kind of helps to remove you from those consolidation sections. Okay? And it does mean that sometimes you can miss some big entries in those type of things. But that's the thing. You've got to kind of find out what's going to work better for you. Okay, do you want to take advantage of those bigger moves, those type of things? This thing just makes sure that you stick in the overall direction of the market or trend, that is being generated on a specific time frame, so that you don't kind of go against the grain. Other thing as well is that this is almost like a one-size-fits-all type of thing, because it gives you consolidation, and it gives you whether it changes from trend to consolidation to trend and so forth. Okay. Other techniques to kind of identify consolidation would either be just looking at price action itself. Okay, like we've just done earlier, and we could see basically, consolidation, and if we look at the 4-hour, look how it's consolidating now for these last couple of days actually. Okay, 4-hour chart wise. Then we've got other types of indicators that we can use as well. Now, the other types of indicators that we can use to try and identify consolidation with is something as simple as using the ADX. Okay, the ADX. Remember, we only tend to look at trading the signals that come up with those beautiful break. There you go, you good thing. Okay, looks like it's going to go away. Again, we just have to wait and see. It's getting close. But anyway, yeah. Remember, we've normally got the 20 level that we look at. And whenever anything is above the 20 level, we know that there's more than enough movement within the chart, momentum in essence, to say that the chart is trending. Okay, when it's below that, we tend to deem it as consolidating. So an ADX is another method of using a indicator to identify, consolidation with. The big thing is to check whether your system, gets into a type of market flow that pushes you into consolidation most of the time. If it does, then you want to maybe look at removing that consolidation periods within your trading cycles. So that's when you might look at applying something like the 3MA or the ADX and various other methods of approach. Okay, this is why I always say, the more different types of indicators the better choices you've got or options in terms of putting together different types of systems or strategies. So it makes a difference. And it's just to play it around and see. Sometimes you don't even need to worry about using something like that. if you've got a money management system that is set very, very beautifully, then even the consolidation periods won't really be that much of a bother. Okay, so it's really up to what you come up with in terms of indicator ones and finding entries and money management. Okay, remember, the backtesting shows us whether those conditions that we set actually work or don't, and there we kind of derive whether or where specifically our weak points within the system is. And then from there, we start looking at improving those results by manipulating, those weak points by using additional rules. Either we remove the consolidation periods, or we might ratchet the stop a little bit tighter in the beginning. A lot of different things. And that's the thing. This is why when you guys get to that point of getting very close to finalizing a strategy, okay, you're going to notice that I tend to work a lot more individually with you as well. Okay, you guys just heard me actually speaking a little earlier to Bevan. He's basically finalized his backtesting, that kind of thing. He's already tweaked it and that kind of thing as well. He started off with a -9% growth. He's pushed it up to, I can't remember, but it's something good actually. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Pushed it up to some nice growth. Let's see here. That's the right one. Yes. Okay. I pushed it up to 63%. For the growth. That's one chart. Could be better. We could try and see if we can pick up a bit more from it. But it just shows you with the tweaking that he's done, he's already changed the system from a negative into a positive returning type of system. Okay. Now it's just to check if we can work on any of the other issues that it might be giving. Like I said, the beautiful thing is he's even pushed up his hit rate to basically 50-50, which is awesome for something like that. But that's it. Each of you will kind of get into your own flow of finding things, and that's what I want. I want you guys to be able to do these things completely on your own. So I'll obviously be sitting with Bevan on TeamViewer then, and we'll be working together through those things so that he can pick up on exactly how I go about, my analysis and so forth, and just show him different techniques and so forth, and how we apply the stuff that we've learned in the theory notes and videos and so forth to minimize those problematic areas, because that's what those things are for. Okay, I've shown you so many different techniques and methods and so forth. Those are all the extra added little things that we bring into a strategy once we start tweaking. And the big reason for it is to try and eliminate the weak points within our systems. And that's it. Okay. All right, let's have a look at the chart. Going beautifully now. Love that. Okay. Yes. Keep pushing. Just a bit more. I know you want to get there. Come on. It's like flirting with that take profit level. Remember, it needs to pass that level by the amount of the spread before it's going to close that trade. Okay, but it's already been making lower lows, and that's what I'm liking to see. Okay, like I said, the confident thing for me was the fact that we're getting lower highs, even though it started bouncing off of this level. But now it's finally pushing through the level. It's making lower lows as well, and this is giving me more confidence that it could actually get where we wanted to get. Okay. If I only get profits in the one trade, stochastic setup, all good. Doesn't matter, even if I lose the next one, because I'm still walking away with profits for the day then. Okay. So let's just see how this is going to pan out. 15-minute, doing its thing. Street 30. 30 is showing that it's going up, but it looks like it's wanting to cross there. 1 hour. It's just at the chin up. Daily still going strong. 4 hours still going strong. Okay. Woo, big push back up with about a minute left. Was that just target hunting? Who's going to be in control here? Bulls, bears? There's been a slight upwards push. This might go down further. Let's see. Going to be a little while though, but it looks good so far. Looks good so far. Remember guys, the offer still stands for the discount on the backtesting product as well. All you need to do to gain access to the coupon code is just give a review on one of our courses on djvsuccesscoaching.com. Okay, I'll know as soon as you guys have done that, and once I see that that has been done, I'll send you guys the through the discount to use then. Okay, for the backtesting product. Like I said, I use the backtesting product every single time I do a backtest now. It's just so much simpler. Yeah. Yeah, before that, did it the old manual way. And I believe in the manual way, but that's the beautiful thing about the backtesting product. It's still manual backtesting. It just automates most of the work now. And what that does or helps do then is it speeds up the backtesting process. You see, the key thing for me within the backtesting is that you guys learn, because this is what backtesting does. You're going through the history of the chart on your own and spotting exactly what has happened, where your entries are, and so forth. With the automated test, you're not doing that. Okay. And what happens is when you do the manual testing, you can actually start seeing what are the problematic situations that pop up while you're going through your backtesting. So you're already starting to develop ideas for tweaking just by manually backtesting. When you're going about automated backtest, okay, the problem is you don't see those things. So every tweak you make after that is purely a guess. Otherwise, you've got to go through all of the charts again. Yeah, and it's just double the work. So this is why when backtesting manually, let's say you do a 1-year backtest, you're actually pushing 1 year's worth of trading expertise into that short little backtest period, because you start learning that chart like you would have been trading it for a year. So if your backtest is only going to take you 1 hour, you're pushing 1 year's worth of trading experience into 1 hour, because you're seeing the flow, you're seeing where you're getting in, you're seeing how these charts retrace, you're seeing how they're bouncing off levels, you're seeing how far they push up. Okay, it makes a huge difference. And that's why I'm such an avid supporter of a manual backtest. Okay, I mean, I can tell you guys stories, you know, and this is the thing. I've worked with so many clients. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. Okay. And the fact is, I've had a guy that's done automated backtesting. Now, this guy was lucky enough to be a programmer, and he came up with these ideas and that kind of thing, and all he did is he automated the system, and he just ran it in the strategy tester. Okay. He's probably ran way over 100 tests easily. Okay, came up with different settings and could never find anything that works. And so he started getting disappointed and asked me why. Well, it's simple when I told him.
The fact is when you go about testing it automatically, you're not really learning. You're purely throwing guesses, at those tweaks. And it's literally just, it's like trying to play cricket blindfolded. Okay, it's either hit or miss, and the chances that you're going to hit it are extremely small. Okay, um, so why do you want to push yourself through that amount of effort and problems just to kind of, in your own mind, make it quick and easier for yourself? Okay, trust me, like I say, I know what works and I know what doesn't. You don't learn anything from an automated test. You don't gain any extra knowledge because you're not seeing the flows and the patterns on those charts. Okay. The other thing as well is that, and I told it to him straight, the pure fact is, it's just laziness. That's it. It's outright laziness. I mean, I've told him how many times, do a manual test. I'm not accepting any automated tests. Okay. And even still, he keeps on going with this. So yeah, if you don't want to listen, that's the thing, guys. Then there's nothing I can do. Okay. Like I said, my goal is to make sure that I teach you guys how to be able to do this properly. Okay. And well, if you don't want to listen, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yeah. So it comes down to you guys. Yeah. Are you going to be willing to put in the effort or not? And you know what the funny thing is? The people who put in the effort, they make money. That's the beautiful thing. Yes, it takes a little bit more effort, but it's like with anything. If you're going to try and take shortcuts, you're bound to hit problems and that kind of thing. It's even with starting a business, basically. If you want to take shortcuts, you're going to put yourself into troubled water. It's all about making sure that you understand how to do this properly. Okay, and the big thing is, like I said, the biggest beauty of a manual backtest is, like I said, you're pushing so much history into your subconscious, basically, that it's like you would have been trading that chart for that period of time that you've backtested. The amount of learning that happens with a manual test is insane. Yeah. The other thing as well is that you start picking up patterns that automated system will never ever be able to pick up. Remember, automated system is set to do one thing, and it's to test just the settings that you've given it. But when you run through the chart manually, you start seeing flows, patterns, cycles that no other programming software would be able to see. Okay, that's why I'm so strongly into manual backtesting, because our minds, okay, is a lot more powerful than a computer, guys. That's just a fact. We can process so many different types of things at once. Not only that, we are visual beings. So for us, looking at the flow of the chart and those type of things gives us a better idea of what we need to do in order to get the system to be at a profitable level. Okay. So remember, do not shy away from backtesting. Okay. I mean, I've warned many people and that kind of thing, and it's always been shown, those guys who don't do the backtesting, they're the ones who don't get anywhere with their systems or don't get anywhere with their trading. It's really that simple, guys. Um, all my clients are trading live. They've done the backtesting. They've finished it. Simple. That's it. And they're making money. And that's the thing, it's you're either gonna get to the point and push through it, or you're just gonna give up. You've got to make the choice, whether it's with the effort or not. And the fact is, guys, I mean, if you only have to put through, just a couple of hours to get a backtesting done, get tweaking done and everything, I mean, that's more than enough time to waste in my eyes to get to a point where you can start making money. And that's the thing, it's just making sure that you absorb as many different types of things from out these charts as you can. Like I say, guys, I mean, I've been through it all. I've done many things. My best systems has come up with manual backtesting. It's just because, like I say, it's like these things start jumping out of the charts. The problem with the automated test is it just runs. You don't see where the entries are taken, anything like that. And you basically get almost like a spreadsheet just with data, and now you've got to guess. Okay, so what was the issue? How do I better that? How You don't even know whether most of the trades went, let's say, past the halfway mark and then turned and took you out. I mean, doing partial closing is going to work a lot better, isn't it? But if you did an automated test, you'd never know that. So how would you know to bring that in as a tweak? See, that's the big difference between a manual backtest and an automated backtest. Okay, this is the beauty of the backtesting product. It still incorporates everything needed for manual backtest. It's just that the process that takes us very long. It's like writing all the info over into the spreadsheet. That's just one click now. Okay, and setting your stops, targets, and those type of things. That's just one click now. Okay, but you still have to go through the chart and analyze your system and see where the entries are. So you're still actively in your conscious mind trading that chart, even though you're backtesting it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and that's why it's like taking a lot more data with the backtesting, and it actually starts becoming part of your experience in terms of trading. Okay, it's invaluable, the amount of experience that this type of backtesting gives you. You know? Like I said, that client he's run way over 100 types of automated tests. He's never gotten anything that's profitable. He never will. It's just because he's not listening to me. That's it. I mean, like I said, guys, I could tell you, um, exactly what's needed. I'm not always going to tell you what you want to hear, because that's the thing, guys. For me, it's not about kind of making you feel fuzzy and feel comfortable or anything like that. No, guys, we're working with money here, and the fact is that each of us are going to be using, our own hard-earned cash. As I've been through this, I've lost, two of my live accounts, wiped it out and that kind of thing, and it's purely because of, stupid things. In the beginning, like I said, it was just plainly due to being, I would say, not tutored well enough. Didn't know really what I was doing. Second time, I knew everything that I was doing, but then the emotions took control. And it's good that those things happens, because it taught me important lessons within the markets. And you see, the big thing for me is to make you guys aware of the reality in the markets. I'm not here to paint a pretty picture. Okay, everyone else does that. That's why I hate most of those other companies. They try and paint this beautiful picture and show that you're going to be driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris. And guys, this is not a get rich quick thing. It's a brilliant tool to make good money with. Yes, but reality. And with that, you are better prepared and able, to trade for a lifetime, instead of just getting in, trying to, hit a cricket ball blindfolded and then getting taken out. Okay, that's not the way I go about things. So when I tell you something, it's for a reason. It's to make sure that you learn. It's to make sure that you can do this on your own. Okay. Like I said, guys, I'm always open for any kind of counter argument and that kind of thing, and we can debate it. We can talk it through. I'm never just going to say that, no, it's completely wrong or that kind of thing. No. Remember, I believe in an out-of-the-box method. For me, the more out of the box you can get, the better. It's just sticking with the process. As long as you stick with the process, I don't care how you guys go about it. That's the thing for me. Okay, it's making sure that you guys understand, and know truthfully what you're in for. And with that, it just makes it a lot simpler to actually start deriving an income or making good growth within this consistently. Okay. And a lot of people don't get that, unfortunately. So yeah, that's why you notice in the beginning, when we teach you guys and that kind of thing, we focus a lot on getting rid of those falsities that have been, kind of thrown around within the markets and those type of things, so that you guys actually really understand what it's all about, how we're supposed to go, about trading it and that kind of thing. It's kind of to open your eyes to the truth about the markets. I mean, there's so many lies being spread. It's insane. But hey, unfortunately, that's the type of world we live in today. There's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to want to, kind of steal your hard-earned money. So just be vigilant. Make sure that you do your due diligence in terms of those things. If you ever get to a point where you're looking at an opportunity and you're unsure, by all means, guys, rather contact me and check with me first and that kind of thing. I'm completely open for those things. I mean, I've had a lot of clients come to me. Funny enough, believe it or not, I've even had clients that finish with the course, then they start jumping onto something else. They go learning there and that kind of thing, or they might buy a software or that type of thing from another company and that kind of thing. To tell the truth, it doesn't bother me. If you want to do that, by all means, you do it. But the best thing is they still come back to me and ask me for the advice. You know? um, it just shows you, it's just because of the way that I believe in which we need to approach these things, and it makes a huge difference. I'd rather have a client for a lifetime than have a client only for 1 or 2 months. Um, fact is, you all know, trading can be difficult, and having someone to be able to, kind of communicate either your doubts, your worries, your fears, those type of things with makes a huge difference. And that's basically what I'm here for. Remember, guys, I'm that mentor for you guys. I'm that sounding board. So anything that comes up, any issues and so forth, you just let me know, and we tackle it and that kind of thing. And it's always done in such a way where I try and give you guys as much freedom as possible, okay, in terms of how I want to go about it. The main thing I'm going to just make sure of is that you guys stick with these standard principles that I'm trying to teach you that's going to make you successful. However else you go about it, doesn't matter. And that's it. So it's the main thing I always focus on is process. Um, and as long as you guys stick with that, right, you're going to be successful. That's the key trick behind it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I actually talk quite a lot there. How it goes sometimes, Yeah, every now and then I do get kind of into that type of a scolding mode. It's important though, like I said, for me, it's making sure that you guys get, in the right mindsets, and that's more important than anything else. I mean, I'm going to do more damage if I try and trick you guys, in terms of, um, doing certain things. Um, it's only going to come back and bite me then, and that I don't want. So no, it's just definitely just making sure that you guys understand 100% what you're letting yourself in for, and then also that you develop the skills that you can do this totally in full confidence on your own. Okay, I want you guys to be able to trade for a lifetime. Okay. Okay, now all good, William. I think I'm gonna do the exact same. We are basically 2 hours in. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab a refresher on a cup of coffee. Hopefully when I'm done, we might have the target hit. Okay, so okay, I'll be checking you guys in about 5 minutes again. Okay.
Okay, so things are looking good at this point. We basically hit our target for our stochastic setup. Doesn't matter what happens now today. We're ending today in a profit, which is awesome. Um, 15 minute, how's that looking? Okay, that's still going. We might get the turn happening pretty soon for the upwards move due to the longer term setups and that kind of thing. Just depends on how strong this momentum is on the short term, whether it'll reach our profit or not. We're kind of halfway, so hopefully this, kind of pushes real good and hits targets like we wanted to. And if that goes, well, 5% profit for the day. Can't complain about that at all. Okay. Um, Going nicely. We've got about 50 minutes left of the session. Been a good session today so far. Um, Trending nicely in those setups, so can't complain at all. Um, Going good. Okay, I can't see that there is anything else that's come up yet. We'll just wait for the next retracement. So it's going to take a bit of time before we can really get another entry for the 15 MA. But so far, this has been going good. I can't complain about this at all. Like I said, even if this current trade goes against us, we're still ending the day in a profit. We've made 1% then, made a 2% profit. Most we're going to lose on this trade is 1%. So, profits all over at this point. Can't see that we're going to have any entry coming up soon. Unless we get something on the 5-minute stochastic wise, for the bottoms going up. We'll see. We'll see. So far, like the way this is going. Just waiting to see whether it's gonna do what we want it to. And from there, we'll take it. Okay. Like I said, guys, any other questions that pop up that you might want to ask and that kind of thing, by all means, shoot, let me know. That's what these sessions are for. I want to make sure that, if there's any doubts with anything, okay, that you'd rather clear that doubt up with me. The key factor is to remove any doubt with anything that you've got within the markets, because doubt is the killer for any trader. Okay, doubt is the thing that gets us to that point of getting ourselves into a tricky and sticky situation, and we don't want that. Okay, all right. And this is pushing good so far. I like what I'm seeing. Hopefully it can go all the way. And then obviously this evening, we're continuing with our normal end of day session. Okay, just to give you guys a quick idea of where we're sitting at with that. Yeah, we're sitting at about $3,200 worth of profit on that. So we've just dipped under about, we're about at a 8% floating profit. Remember a couple of days ago we were at about a 10%. It's just retracing as normal. We should see some movement upwards a bit later. And some interesting things happening actually. So yeah, it's going to be a good session. And hopefully this one just moves very nicely. Okay, good stuff, William. Good news, we've already had profits with one trade. So it doesn't matter what happens now. Even if this 3 MA trade doesn't go our way, we're still ending the day in profits. You can see the account balance picked up. Okay, with target being it on that one. This one's still going beautifully. I like the way this is going, so hopefully we can actually hit target on this one as well. Then it's basically a 5% profit we made for the day. Show me anything else that's going to deliver that amount of profits within a day. Not even within a day, within 3 hours. So it shows it's you're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. Remember last week we had a bad day, right? Didn't go well at all, and then we get days like this. Like I said, we still need to see if this one's going to hit target, but it looks good at this point. So I haven't got any major issues at this point in time. It's going quite nice. Yeah, like I said, any other questions that do pop up, by all means, just shout it, let me know. Like I said, I'd rather tackle any doubts that you've got, making sure that you don't get yourself into any sticky situations that you don't want to be in. I said, keep pushing, keep pushing. You're almost there. Almost. Some nice movement. It looks like there's enough momentum to maybe just get it where we want it to. We'll see. We'll see. So we're already at basically a 2% profit level with this trade. Just needed to push further, a little bit further, to get that target. So remember, the whole thing is that as soon as your risk to reward is set to something like 3 to 1, even if you only make 30% of the trade's winners, you're still going to end up with a profitable system. You see, it's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not about how often you are correct. It's about how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. Okay, that's the key factor. How often you're right has got nothing to do with profitability. The good thing at this point in time is you guys can see clearly now, that even though we've had, a couple of bad times and that kind of thing within the trading, as soon as we get those good winning days, it makes up for all those bad days, and it starts pushing us into a profitable level. Then we get some bad days again, and then we get a good day again, and again we get into a little bit more profits, and it's just continuously going about it that way. And if you just stick to your rules, you keep going with your things, this is why I say, if you just stick with everything, and this is why, the trust in your system is so important. And that's where backtesting comes in. But once you've done that, it's so much easier sticking to your rules.
And when you give it enough time, you actually prove to yourself that, hey, this actually does work. Problem is because we don't have that proof in the beginning, we doubt it always, and that doubt is the thing that kills any trader. You know? So that's why our focus is making sure that we eliminate any of that doubt, and that's why we approach it the way we do. Okay, it makes trading a lot easier. Firstly, it makes you understand the cycles and the flows, and from there, um, basically, it's like an open playing ground for you. Then it's really then down to how much can you make, and that's it. So yeah, let's see. This is pushing nicely. Let's have a look at the 1 minute again. Just want to see short term wise what that's doing. Okay, it's still pushing down, going lower there as well. Can it still keep up with that momentum? It is pushing lower. It seems like we might be losing some momentum on that. Hopefully a little bit sideways and then another push down. Ooh, big one. This is looking good. How far away now? Just a slight bit, just a slight bit. Can this get there? How far can you go? Ooh, beautiful. Just keep going. Keep going. Intensely close. 5 minute. Very, very close. Very, very close. 15, still going strong. Pushing beautifully. Just keep going. Keep going. Okay, 30 minutes made the cross. It looks like it's wanting to come down, so that's playing enough favor there. 1 hour. Yeah, 4 hours just making that last shove probably. This is why you see we're basically on that level, so we might get a bit of resistance here. Hopefully it just pushes far enough to have us hit the target and profit from that move. I'm just waiting and seeing. Just waiting and seeing. Okay, getting a small turn happening now on the 5 minute. Let's have a look at the 1 minute and see. Okay, it's pushing up there. Hopefully this can kind of stagnate slightly like over there, and we get another little drop like that, and we're going to hit target. Just speculation at this point in time, eh? We'll just need to wait and see. Hopefully this goes beautifully. It looks like it's setting up for. It depends if it keeps like it is at this point in time. We should be hitting target.
Remember, even though I'm on a 1 minute chart, I'm not trading the 1 minute chart. I'm just looking at how prices are flowing on the 1 minute to give me a better idea of whether this could actually hit target or not. So far, it looks good. Okay, um, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's just giving me the idea here that we are close to seeing target being it. I mean, the next couple of candles could shoot up for all I know. So far, it's looking good. It's pushing lower. That's what I like. Okay. Let's just hope it goes even lower. Remember, it just needs to pass the target by the amount of the spread, and then it'll close the trade. So we need this to get more or less, let's see, roughly only there. Oh, there we go. Target's it. Awesome. Okay. Guys, we made 5% profit for the day. Beautiful. Okay, so like I said, I don't think there's anything more that's going to come up at this point in time. Oh, it's gone beautiful today. Love it. Okay, so anyway, like I said, the only other thing is we've got to wait for the retracement. Okay, before we get the next cross to get us to that profitable, or not profitable, but to that point of where we're going to get another sell entry. Otherwise, it's going to be trend change. Okay, and we've got to wait a little longer. But I don't think any of that's going to happen within this session. Okay, 5 minute wise, can we, can't we, can we, can't we? We might be able to get a buy set up for the stochastic coming up. There's enough time for something like that to generate entry. So that could be the only thing that we might find coming up within today's session. Okay, so let's say we do get a signal to get in on a 5 minute stochastic. Remember, we wanted time perfectly to match up with a 15 as well. 15 is quite low, looking like it's wanting to turn at this point in time. So we should see it going up from this point. And we should see a lot more momentum as well in the upwards move then. But that's it. We're just going to wait. We're going to have to wait and see. At this point in time, there's nothing really. Maybe we get a retracement coming back down and then going back up, and then we get that setup that we're looking for, and then I'll go in for it. It could be within the session, or it just could not happen whatsoever. Yeah, we got to wait and see. That's it. But overall, today was a really, really good and profitable session. Okay. All great stuff, William. Glad to see that you were able to actually see the profits being realized today as well. I'll definitely see you later this evening then. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, hey? Okay, so like I said, we're probably just hopefully seeing something set up for a little bit later.
much bigger push up. This could be where the momentum gets lost within the downwards move. Should still have a slight retracement coming in very shortly. But we'll still see. I've got 30 minutes left. Okay, there's the slight upwards push. Stagnating a bit now. Let's have a look at the 1 minute just to see. Okay, that's why. But it's still moving up. That's why I'm thinking we could have the momentum changing now. And see the swing starting to come up for the upwards move now. So, hey, maybe we get a slight bullish movement within the US session coming up. Yeah, we just have to wait and see, you know. There's just a lot of things that can still happen. Yeah, we'll see. Still a lot that needs to happen. I said I don't think we're probably not going to see anything come up for the rest of the day. I'm just going to have to wait. That's all.
Slight push down now.
kind of stagnating at this level at this point in time. Not really a lot going on. Just waiting for that push and then the retracement. Otherwise, nothing else really. Got about 20 minutes left in the session. Okay, 15 minutes left in the session. You can see that's pulling down there. Probably the 1 minute chart that's just shoving it down like that now. Okay, bit of unsurety in terms of where it wants to go now. I think the 1 minute's made its turn down. Yeah, it wants to go up now. So we're definitely seeing that change in momentum. Okay. I don't think we're going to see anything soon enough in terms of another entry signal. 15 looks like it's wanting to start turning up again as well. But that might only give something much later in the day. Just going to have to wait and see. Slight doji on the 15. Okay, we've got about just less than 10 minutes left. Look like this is going to give a turn. This might actually go, you see it's setting up for that small one, divergence for the downwards one. But here's the issue. Obviously the 15-minute is bottoming out on the stochastic, so we're expecting this to turn up. So I'm really looking for any divergence at the bottoms, which there is none. Okay, that's why I'm saying we could have a retracement and we could get from that extension, we could see maybe some divergence coming up. Okay, but yeah, that's not going to happen within this session. That's a definite. Okay.
I can't see anything else really happening within this session. So, like I said, we've only got less than 5 minutes left now. There's nothing else that's going to happen now. Definitely be looking out for later in the day. Okay. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for the session then. Nothing else really going to happen, like I said. I'll keep an eye out, obviously, for the 15-minute setups throughout the day. But nothing going to come up at this point in time. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me for today's session. Today went awesome. Made a 5% profit. That's for 3 hours worth of work. Show me anything else that's going to deliver similar results. Okay. 5% growth on your capital for only 3 hours worth of work. That's it. Okay. Now, like I said, we're going to be having our end of day session this evening. Okay. So hopefully I'll see most of you on for that one. Some interesting stuff that's going to happen on that one. But otherwise, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Make sure that you get everything done that needs to be done. And yeah, we'll basically just, take it onwards from this evening then. Okay. Right, guys. Cheers.